Good afternoon, my lovelies, and welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. You are in my kitchen in Queens, and I'm not exactly making curry, but I am making eggplant. So eggplant is something that all Indians love. It's my husband's favorite dish. I put together all the things that we need to get this party started. And I'm going to redirect you to the pot that's right here. Hello, Bharti ma'am. How are you today? I'm making this in my Instant Pot, but again, you can make this in any stovetop pan or pot that you have. I've started out by sauteing some onions. I usually don't put onions or garlic in my eggplant. I just do eggplant, potatoes, and all the whole spices and the dry spices, and that's it. But today I just want to give it one extra layer of flavor. Also, I am going to be making this dish without potatoes. Now, traditionally, the North Indian way of making it is eggplant with potatoes or bengan aloo. But I've lately, I think in the past couple of years, been trying to really cut out on the amount of potato that we use for all of our dry sabjis. So instead of aloo matar, I make gobi matar, which is cauliflower with peas. Instead of making aloo paneer, I make matar paneer. So today I'm going to tell you an alternate vegetable which is used instead of potatoes. It is starchy. It definitely has carbs, but it also has a lot of iron. It has a lot of potassium. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a nutritionist, so I'm going to try to do the best that I can. If you can see me, drop a comment below because I don't know that you're on there unless you interact with me. So let me know where you're tuning in from. We are going to wait for these potatoes to caramelize. You know what? I'm just going to try to change the height of my camera so you can actually get a better look at the pot. How about that? And I know you can hear me just fine. I just want the view to be really, really clear so we can talk and you can watch at the same time. How about that? All right, so here I am. I am going to brown the onions. I won't make them too brown. I've added some cumin seeds as we spoke. And then I'm going to go ahead and I added some garlic and cumin seeds. And I'm going to go ahead and add some curry leaves. These are great for your gut. And I just have them. I prefer to use them in multiple dishes while I still have them nice and green, because once they start to brown, then I feel bad, like, oh, I spent all this money and I didn't use them, right? Are you in that club where you buy stuff and then you never use it? Okay, so the next thing, this I've used like one whole onion, and then I've got 2 Holland eggplants right here. I think I've chopped both. Let me see. Yes, I have indeed chopped both. The next thing I'm going to do is the cilantro. Hi, Bharti ma'am. Wish you were closer somewhere in Ohio. Feel so proud. Oh, thank you, Bharti ma'am. That's really sweet of you. That's such a kind thing to say. I appreciate that. তুমি যেখানেই আছো ভালো থাকো, আমাদের ভালো ভালো স্মৃতিতে থাকো. That's what I pray for. Hello, Jen. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Queen's Curry Kitchen. Let me know where you're tuning in from. We have Bharti ma'am, who is my teacher from school. Oh my God, can you believe it? Yes, and she is tuning in from Ohio. Now, we are not going to caramelize these onions a great deal. We are just going to soften them up. You can see the garlic is kind of browning, and I've used minced garlic. Now, instead of using tomatoes, I'm going to show you one more hack that I use all the time in my kitchen. Instead of using tomato, I'm going to use this. You see what this is? You'll say, like, what the hell? How is this possible? How can you put soup in your food? You know what? Trust me. I opened this thing because I was trying to make a chicken tikka masala recipe from Campbell's soup. I was teaching a class to this college kid who wanted to learn quick hacks. So that's when I opened the can, but I didn't use all of it. Hey, Jen, of course you're in Forest Hills. How are you today? Howdy, neighbor. Okay, so I quickly sauteed the tomato, and you'll see as soon as you add the tomato, one tip that I always give is when you add the tomato, add the entire salt for your dish right into the tomato. And you can do this with fresh tomatoes, you can do this with canned tomatoes. crushed tomatoes, whatever, or add all your powdered spices, coriander seed powder, some turmeric. I use paprika, but if you like heat, you can always use cayenne pepper. Give it a good stir. Now my Instapot is set to searing mode or saute mode, whatever brand of Instapot you have, you will see that you have this. Okay, now is the time to put in the eggplant. I've chopped it into cubes and they keep running away from me. Plop. And one more. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in. Don't jump around, you guys. Like, get back in there. Okay. I'm just gonna give it a good stir so that it's well coated. Always keep a little bit of water handy so that if you see this stuff sticking to the bottom of your Instapot, mine is a steel bottom, so obviously things stick to the bottom of it. If you have a non-stick one, you won't have this problem. Okay, so just add a little bit of water. It not only helps to loosen up all the things from the bottom of the Instapot, but also helps to prevent your spices from burning. So just, why did my fan turn off? Oh, it is hot, man. Okay, yes. Just give it a gentle stir. And you see it's well coated. Now, eggplant as a vegetable, what it first does, hello Karishma, oh my god, oh, hi, how are you? What eggplant first does is when you add it to the oil, it soaks up all the oil and you feel like, oh my god, there isn't enough oil in my dish. But as it cooks and as you steam it, it's going to release the oil back. So whenever you make an eggplant dish, don't start with too much oil. It seems like it's not enough because it's going to suck up all the oil. But I've taught you that technique where we just add I put a lid on top and then we really turn it down low so that it'll steam it out. Then whatever little bits of oil that you've used are all going to come back out. I just added a little bit of water to this thing so it will be nice and fluid and I can actually move it around easily. If you have any eggplant related questions, you can shoot them at me. Okay, now the traditional combination is eggplant with potatoes, but instead of a potato, this is what I'm going to use today. This is a green plantain. It's a raw banana, okay? If you go to the Indian stores, it's called a roo banana, which is much smaller than this. But I did not get this from an Indian store. Just peel it off. And you see, as soon as you take off the skin, it starts to turn black. So if you're going to prep your vegetables ahead of time, then soak them in a bowl of water with a little dash of milk. And that will prevent it from turning black or oxidizing. So that tells you that this has a lot of iron. I love to incorporate green banana into my food, and my mom used to make, when we were growing up, my mom used to make this thing called kaach kolar jhol. So I'm half Bengali, if you don't know, and jhol is like a stew, which is literally like a broth that my mom used to make by putting all of the delicious seasonal vegetables, and I used to absolutely love that with a nice bowl of hot rice, any kind of jhol. And to this day, it's my comfort food. It literally uses like 2 or 3 ingredients. That is still my comfort food. Now you can either compost this or then people actually fry them and do other things with it. I unfortunately don't have that kind of creativity or time on my hands today. So I will skip that step. Give it a good stir, and you don't have to use, if you don't have a masala box, you don't have to use everything that I've used. You can literally add any kind of masala that you have. It could be a pre-packaged pav bhaji masala. It could be a pre-packaged sambar masala. Use anything you have to keep it really simple. And also if you're teaching your kids how to cook, or if you're trying to delegate the cooking responsibility to someone else in your kitchen other than yourself, it's really a good way to teach technique first and not recipes. What happens when you learn recipes is that then you're married to the recipe and you feel like you cannot step out of it. So like for me, if I didn't have tomatoes, then I would never think to use this, right? So teach your kids technique and tell them what are the flavors that they need to put in so that you will get a successful dish. I think that's really important, and a lot of cooking is just skill based. So the more you do it, or the more they assist you in the kitchen, the better they get, okay? So bringing you back to this pot, I'm going to add just a little bit of water. Now, I'm not trying to make it a gravy dish, so I'm not going to add too much water. But at the same time, I want enough moisture in the pot so that it'll cook all of my vegetables. Raw eggplant is really not a good, pleasant taste. And I've gone to some Thai restaurants where the where they use the Japanese, you know, the purple eggplant, the long ones, and they're kind of raw. I will test for salt in this. It does need some salt. And if you've ever eaten my food or bought food from the Queen's Curry Kitchen, you know that my food is not spicy, but it is well seasoned. A little more coriander seed powder. And some more paprika for color. Again, like I said, if you eat heat, you can add green chilies or you can add cayenne pepper. Okay, so I've been sauteing this for about 14 minutes, right from the time when I put in the oil the first time. And then now what I'm going to do is, I do need to put in some cilantro into this, but I'll add some now and then some after it's finished cooking. So I have some cilantro here, which I am going to chop up. Guys, do not forget to tune in tomorrow. I am going to be live from my kitchen where I make home-style Indian food for my company, the Queen's Curry Kitchen. We do have a meal delivery service in New York, Long Island, and in Queens. Also, we are still feeding COVID families for free. So if you know a family that has COVID or someone in the family has COVID, especially the mom, please share my information with them or give me their information so I can bring them free food. And the free food keeps going to them till they tell us to stop, okay? So that's pretty much how it works. We've been doing that for the last 2 years. Now is the time to put in the lid. You can see there isn't that much liquid. There isn't that much. So I'm going to put the lid here. This is on sealing mode. I'm going to hit the cancel button because the function that I'm going to go for now is the manual pressure cooking. And I am going to pressure cook this thing for 3 minutes. That's it. So that's going to take care of this. It's going to be done. I can actually start packing up and I need to head out to my physical therapy appointment. So I'm not having to babysit this food, which I think is a really, really huge deal for me. Sometimes I'm pressed on time and I may only have 12 to 15 minutes, whereas if I were to make it in a conventional stovetop, then I would have to constantly stir it, and nobody has that kind of time, right? Especially not us moms who are running around in 50 different directions. Also, I'm having a problem with my elbows, so when I constantly stir, it really bothers me. So thank you, God, for this Instant Pot. I also have other things that I use which actually make my life easier. I have a electric skillet which actually allows me to make stir fries, and I've done a couple of demonstrations. I've made the bitter gourd sabzi in this. I've taught you how to do, gosh, we've made a couple of things in this, right? We've done fried rice, etc. in this. I've done that video as well. I also have an air fryer. So last night we had air fried salmon for dinner, and I can show with garlic toast, and everything was made in the air fryer. So if you want to see more air fryer recipes or more recipes that involve electrical gadgets that actually make our life easier in the kitchen, drop it in the comments below. I'll be happy to share my air fryer recipes. I do a lot of how should I say, I make pizza in the air fryer. I've done quesadillas in the air fryer. I've also done salmon in the air fryer, and my daughter said it was one of the best salmon dishes that she's tasted out of my hand. In fact, right now she is eating a salmon, the same salmon that we had last night. I had extra. So this afternoon she is doing a rice with soy sauce and sesame oil. You know that the hack that we had on TikTok that went viral where vegetarian air fry. Okay, Melanie, I hear you, sweetie. I will definitely do that. How are you doing today? I know it's probably evening where you are, but we are here in a cloudy on a cloudy morning in New York City. So yes, so I did salmon yesterday, and then today she's actually eating that same salmon with a with rice, sesame oil, Kewpie mayo, and soy sauce, and then nori, the seaweed sheets. So it's literally like that hack that went viral where you take the nori sheets and you cut them in 4, and then you put your rice, and then you put your salmon, and then you drizzle the Kewpie mayo and you squish it and you eat it, and it's supposed to mimic the taste of Sushi. So I had some thyroid issues, and I heard that seaweed is really good for you. I bought this whole pack, but I'm sorry to say, like, the just the smell of that ocean thing, it's very hard for me. So I eat it every now and then as a medication. I don't really enjoy it. I can eat sushi, but I cannot just eat seaweed as a snack. You know how people just take the sheets and eat it? No, baby, no. Okay, so Karishma says yes, more recipes with the air fryer. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna do more recipes with the air fryer. I will teach you how to make the most kick-ass garlic toast in the air fryer. I will teach you how to make a quick pizza in the air fryer, like a thin crust pizza. I will teach you that, how to make that in the air fryer. And everything comes from the supermarket. We're not going to do anything from scratch. This is 2022. Nobody has that kind of time to sit all day in the kitchen just to come up with some meals. My only problem with my air fryer is that I can teach you the recipes, but if you have a big family where you have, multiple members, then this size of air fryer is only gonna make like one pizza. I know people who have the big air fryer that literally looks like a countertop oven, and in that, like, you can bake a lot of stuff together. I am experimenting with a bread recipe in the air fryer. I promise you, as soon as it becomes successful, I will share that bread recipe with you. In the meantime, if anybody is looking to take any online classes, I do have some openings right now. You can take a class in Indian street foods where you'll be learning pani puri, bhel puri, all the chutneys from scratch, how to make aloo tikki with chana dal filling. You will learn all of that stuff. There are also ebooks on my website, www.queenscurrykitchen.com. There are ebooks on all these subjects. There's a bread making, there's an Indian breads ebook, there is an Indian rice ebook, there is the Spice of Life book for omnivorous families. If you eat meat and there are other family members who don't eat meat or chicken, that book is based on every individual spice that we use. I think we've picked about 5 or 6 top spices, and it has been co-authored by me and Peter, who lives in Ireland. Yes, and so we have both co-authored that book, and he's a spice seller in Ireland. I have my own line of spices. Also, we are doing a new drop for all of our spices, and they are now going to be available in this size and in a single serve size. So if you want to experience the taste of Indian food, but you don't have the time to make elaborate meals, definitely hit up the website. We are going to do a new product drop very soon, and we will ship as soon as we are done packaging. So we have 4 different spice blends. There is a tandoori magic for all of your barbecue needs. There is a stir fry karai blend for all of your dry sabzis, and there is a tikka masala sauce, which is for all your Punjabi dishes. So whether you're doing dal makhani, whether you're doing butter chicken, butter paneer masala, palak paneer, all of those things you can make from the tikka masala sauce blend. Then the other last one that we have is the coconut coastal kadhi blend, which is a very South Indian inspired flavor profile. So if you cannot come to New York and try my food, order the spices, get them in this large packet, which is 3.5 ounces, or get them in smaller single serve packs, and you can literally see what it looks like. It's going to look like this. You'll be able to see the spice blends, and for every person you're serving, you basically only need 1 tablespoon of spice blend. So all of them are going to come soon. We only do very small batches, so it's an artisanal batch that's coming up. Besides that, there's also chai masala that is available on the website, and it's absolutely just pure Assam black tea. You can literally see the whole spices in the chai blend that you order, and I'm not kidding. Once you drink that, you will not drink chai anyway from anywhere else. So that's the plan. Definitely check out the ebooks. Also, if you want to download a free chana masala recipe, it is on my website. If it's not the easiest chana masala recipe you ever saw, I can challenge you. And everything in that recipe comes from the supermarket. If you go down to the website, it's www.queenscurrykitchen.com. Scroll down and it'll say free chana masala download, and you click on it and you will get it instantly into your inbox. Again, like I said, if you know any family that is right now struggling with COVID, or any family member that you know that lives in New York or in Manhattan, in New York City, in Queens, or in Long Island that has COVID, please let them know that we offer free food for COVID families. And that's a service that we've been very proudly doing, and I intend to do it for as long as it's required. I hope it's never going to be required, but the fact of the matter is that people are getting COVID. So you guys, be safe out there. Now I'm gonna just bring you in quickly and show you what the Instant Pot looks like right now. Okay, so this, you see this little pin that went up, this little bobbin thing. So when that goes up, that means the pressure has built, and now the timer starts. So the 3 minutes that actually are programmed in don't start from the minute you turn the lid in place. The 3 minutes actually start after it has come to pressure. And how you know it's come to pressure is that little metal pin, it bobs up and it seals the thing in place, and then you know that the pressure is building. So the timer actually starts now. Like I can read now on the faceplate that it says 3. Before this, it just keeps going round and round, so you know that the timing has not kicked in yet. So that's what's going on. I will come back and open it. When I come back from my physical therapy, I will open it. I will add some cilantro to it. I will add some fresh black pepper, and I will stick it in the fridge so that when we come home at night, there is a fresh home-cooked meal. And with this, I will be serving chapatis, but you can very well eat it with rice. You can eat it with quinoa. You can eat it just by itself with a nice salad on the side. So those are some of the options. We don't have to have potato in all of our dishes, and as a half Punjabi person, it was a very painful learning experience because we literally grew up with everything with potatoes. Gobi aloo, bangan aloo, everything had to have potatoes in it. Like any kind of a dish, even okra was made with potatoes, cabbage with potatoes, bitter gourd, karele with aloo, everything has to have aloo in it. So even though I love potatoes, I've just been consciously trying to cut out the accompaniment of potatoes from our food. Also, we eat really late at night, not me personally, but my family eats very late at night because we are in the restaurant business, and so at that hour of the day, including the rice and the potatoes, it's just very carb heavy, and that's not advisable for anybody. So I've just very quietly started to cut away the potatoes. Okay, nobody will know the difference, trust me. If your dish tastes delicious, I don't think anybody can tell the difference. All right, so with that, I do have to go because I have an appointment to keep, but it's always a pleasure hanging out with you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in my kitchen. I will see you again tomorrow as I tune in from my commercial kitchen when I will be cooking for all of my clients, all of the plant-based food. This week's menu is exciting as always. So I will see you in the next video, in another video. Definitely catch the replay for those of you who are just tuning in. I am Chef Nupur. I am the owner and the chef at Queen's Curry Kitchen, a plant-based Indian meal delivery service specializing in home-style food. We are putting mom's love on a plate for all flavor-loving New Yorkers. We also have a line of spices and lots of ebooks on our website that can help you to make Indian food in a New York minute in your home. So check it out, www.queenscurrykitchen.com. If you felt this video added some value, if you have any friends that are struggling to find substitutes to potatoes and alternatives to potatoes in Indian cooking, definitely share this video and let more people know about it. I will be coming live tomorrow, so stay tuned. Follow this page so that as soon as I go live, the 3 minutes are up. I won't be opening it now because I need to help the pressure to release naturally. But look, in the time that it took for us to talk, my dinner is already done. So yes, I've made dinner already, and I won't be opening it till I come back later on, but that's just who I am. If you're in a rush and you want to open the pressure cooker before the steel pin pops down, you can actually release the pressure by turning the valve. It's called a quick pressure release. Oftentimes when you see Instapot recipes, it will say QPR or NPR. So quick pressure release means that you're actually going to manually turn the valve and release all the pressure so that you can instantly open up the pressure cooker and take out whatever you've cooked. NPR means a natural pressure release, which means that if you left it undisturbed and untouched till the time that it's actually cooling down, the pin that is now risen will actually drop into this. You see this pin? This is going to drop into the hole back inside where it came from. Right now it won't. And then that's called a natural pressure release, when you allow the pressure to drop naturally. So if you're allowing your food to cook in the residual heat of the NPR, then the good thing is that you can actually program it for lesser time. So if I programmed this for 3 minutes, but I'm just going to leave it here at the setting. After it's done cooking, I will leave it here for a few minutes. So I know that in the residual heat, there is still some steam circulating in. So my food will continue to cook. If I'm in a rush and I know that I'm going to do a quick pressure release and jump right into my food and not wait for it to settle down into this hole, I won't allow the steam to release naturally, then I would increase my cooking time. Let's say I wanted to eat this right away. I would increase my cooking time to 5 minutes and then do a quick pressure release for the same dish, like without changing anything else, just depending on whether you want to eat it immediately or do you want to give it some time to tide over. It would really, and then the more you play with it, the more you understand how it works. Also, every brand is different, so you may get different results. Sometimes you'll buy an Instapot recipe book and it'll have certain timings, but depending on whether you're using a 6 quart or an 8 quart or a 10 quart or 12 quart, your timing settings will be different. Also depends on the seasonal seasonal produce that you're using. Sometimes your potatoes will be tender faster, sometimes they'll take a little longer. All of these variables determine your success with pressure cooking. Also the altitude that you live in, so your height from sea level, believe it or not, actually affects your cooking time in a pressure cooker. There's a whole science to that between air pressure and atmospheric pressure and all that stuff, but I was never a scientist. I was always the artist at heart, so I cannot answer those minute details. But our bangan ki sabzi is ready. I will be hitting it with some cilantro before serving. I don't like to put cilantro to very hot dishes because then it just blackens them and makes them look not so appetizing when you're ready to serve. We've just used simple pantry ingredients, nothing fancy, and you have seen it. I will actually, when I take it out and plate it out, I will put a picture of this dish on my Facebook stories and on my Facebook feed and also on my Instagram stories, so you will actually see what it is that came out of all this time that we spent with each other. You've seen the process, but you haven't really seen the end result, and in order for me to take the picture, I have to wait for this pressure cooker to release naturally, and that's the only time I'll be able to take out my eggplant dish. So once I do that, I promise you there will be pictures for you to watch, okay? So Shweta, oh my God, Shweta, how are you? It's good to see you in here. And Sarla, how are you guys doing today? I am just wrapping up because I do have an appointment to keep. And I cannot thank God enough for this creation called Instant Pot, because I just made a bangan ki sabzi. Do catch the replay and see how easy I did it and what did I use as a substitute for potatoes, because usually the Indian equivalent of any sabzi is bangan aloo, gobi aloo. Everything has to have aloo, so no aloo in this one, but it's definitely delicious, it's flavorful, and it's ready to eat in a few minutes. Okay, so I don't have those few minutes, nor am I ready to eat right now, but I will come back, and when I do, I will put pictures for all of you to see. Tune in tomorrow for another video when I go live from my kitchen in Manhattan, and I will show you exactly what are the dishes that we are going to be serving to our clients in Queens, in Long Island, and in New York City. So I will see you in another video soon. Keep smiling and shining. Be blissful, be flavorful. Hello Ursula, how are you? I'm just saying goodbye, but it's nice to see you here. Definitely catch the replay and see what I made today. In today's video, I made an eggplant dish without using potatoes. I will see you guys in another video. Be well, you guys. Stay safe out there. If you're traveling, be safe. And if your kids are already going to college or school, I send them my love. Say a prayer of protection over your children so that they will be safe from any harm that can come to them once they start stepping out of the house. It's a different world out there, okay? So I will see you soon in another video. Take care, have a blessed day, and goodbye.